An old man in a small American town opened his late father's dresser drawer and found something that made his hands shake. Welcome to Rare Coins Info, where forgotten stories are brought back into the light. Inside that drawer, wrapped in a faded cloth, sat a small collection of coins saved from a different era, an era of hardship, sacrifice, and quiet resilience. Among them was a nickel, worn smooth from years of handling, but carrying a secret that most people would never notice. It had traveled through farms, through factories, through the pockets of working men and women who never imagined its true worth. This coin was never meant to be rare. It was made for everyday use, for buying bread, for paying a bus fare, yet fate, and a tiny detail in its making, turned it into something extraordinary. Stories like this happen more often than you think, in closets, in old tobacco tins, in coffee cans buried in garages across America. Today, we are uncovering 12 coins with stories just like this one. Coins that were meant to be ordinary, but became anything but. Stay close, because somewhere in this list might be the very coin resting quietly in your own home.
Number 1. The 1939 Jefferson nickel, a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance, yet carries a legacy few truly understand. Minted in the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. This nickel was part of the transition period from the Buffalo nickel, designed with the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and the Monticello on the reverse. Yet what makes the 1939 Jefferson nickel intriguing is its rarity in certain conditions, especially those coins that survive decades of circulation with minimal wear. Numismatists know that the history of a coin is just as important as its appearance. The 1939 Jefferson nickel is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a diameter of 21.2 millimeters, a thickness of 1.95 millimeters, and a weight of 5 grams. Yet these numbers alone do not convey the magic. The coin's story begins in the late 1930s, an era of transition in America, a period where coins were not just currency but symbols of a nation recovering from the Great Depression. Imagine this nickel changing hands in stores, theaters, and diners, each scratch and patina telling a story. Every collector dreams of finding a piece in remarkable condition. Professional grading by companies like PCGS and NGC determines its value. The difference between a circulated and an uncirculated coin can mean millions. The subtle differences in strike, mint marks, and surface preservation define its rarity. As we examine the coin, notice the relief of Jefferson's profile, the fine details in his hair, the sharpness of the Monticello building. These small elements tell experts whether a coin deserves a top grade. Imagine the thrill of holding a coin graded MS-65 or higher. The sense of history in your hands. Collectors often search for die cracks, double dies, or mint errors that could further elevate value. The 1939 Jefferson nickel is not just a coin, it is a piece of American history. It carries the artistry of its engraver, the legacy of its circulation, and the potential to transform a collection. Some coins were tucked away in rolls, others lost to time. The stories of each surviving specimen are fascinating. Professional graders examine luster, strike, and any signs of cleaning or wear. Even slight abrasions can reduce value drastically. Yet a coin in pristine condition can reach unbelievable valuations. The thrill of the hunt is part of what makes coin collecting addictive. Collectors study auction results, compare coins side by side, and analyze every detail under magnification. The 1939 Jefferson nickel also carries curiosity in its minting variations. For instance, certain Philadelphia mint coins have small differences in lettering, spacing, or relief that make them highly desirable. The patina of a circulated coin can also indicate its journey, from pockets to piggy banks to the hands of collectors decades later. When selling, authenticity matters. Rare coins should be authenticated and graded by PCGS or NGC. Online marketplaces, reputable auction houses, and specialized coin dealers are the safest options to ensure proper valuation. The excitement of discovering such a coin is unparalleled. Imagine opening a small box, seeing the nickels gleam, realizing you hold a coin few collectors have ever owned. It is a moment of triumph. The numismatic community thrives on sharing these discoveries, discussing historical context, examining the minute details that define rarity. The 1939 Jefferson nickel invites this fascination, its history intertwined with American life, its value tied to condition, rarity, and expert recognition. Collectors seek coins that have been preserved in rolls, albums, or private collections. Each scratch, patina, and toning pattern adds a unique character, yet can also affect grading. Curiosity drives collectors to inspect under magnification, to learn the nuances of strike, luster, and surface preservation, and to appreciate the artistry embedded in the coin. Every collector imagines finding an uncirculated example, MS-65 or higher, a coin that has survived decades almost untouched. The journey of this nickel from mint to collector is as important as its numismatic attributes. This coin carries stories from 1939, from the Depression-era America, from the hands that spent, saved, or stored it. Its copper-nickel composition ensures durability, yet even minor handling marks can alter its grading. When discussing thickness, weight, and diameter, collectors note that the 1.95 mm thickness, the 21.2 mm diameter, and 5-gram weight are not just specifications, but criteria that experts use to verify authenticity. Mint marks, Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco subtly indicate its origin, yet the coin's condition often eclipses mint location in determining value. Imagine comparing two 1939 nickels, one worn, one near perfect. The difference is staggering. The worn nickel tells a story of everyday life. The pristine coin whispers of careful preservation and potential fortune. PCGS and NGC grading processes are meticulous, examining microscopic details, luster, and surface quality. Even a minor scratch can shift a coin from MS-65 to MS-63, affecting value by millions in rare cases. Collectors also seek provenance, history of ownership, which can further enhance appeal. The thrill is in discovery, in examining under light, in seeing the Monticello building's details crisp and sharp, in realizing the coin may fetch millions in perfect condition. Yet even in circulated condition, its rarity and history command attention. This nickel connects us to 1939, to Jefferson's enduring legacy, and to the numismatic community's passion for preservation. Each coin holds lessons in artistry, economics, and history, inviting collectors to engage deeply, to understand grading nuances, to appreciate the journey of money through time. Selling strategies include professional auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, specialized coin dealers, and verified online marketplaces, always authenticated to ensure proper value. The excitement of owning a 1939 Jefferson nickel is not just financial, but historical, educational, and deeply personal. Collectors share stories, images, and insights, creating a vibrant community around rare coins. The anticipation of discovering a high-grade example drives collectors to examine thousands of specimens, to learn subtle differences in strike, minting, and preservation. As the coin rests in your hand, its weight, thickness, and diameter remind you of its tangible connection to history. The copper-nickel composition carries a metallic warmth, a physical reminder that this coin has survived over 80 years. From pocket change to collectible treasure, its journey is a story in itself, full of mystery, intrigue, and immense value. As we continue to explore the 1939 Jefferson nickel, imagine holding it in your fingers, feeling its subtle weight of 5 grams, noticing the copper-nickel alloy glint under light, each small detail carrying decades of history. The coin's obverse reveals Thomas Jefferson's profile, the intricate engraving capturing the essence of one of America's most influential figures, while the reverse, the Monticello, stands as a miniature monument, tiny yet monumental. Collectors often marvel at the differences in minting quality between the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco coins. The Philadelphia Mint produced coins with slightly sharper details in Jefferson's hair, While Denver specimens sometimes reveal faint dye variations that only the trained eye can detect, this is where professional grading becomes essential. PCGS and NGC examine luster, strike, surface preservation, and any signs of cleaning or handling. A coin graded MS-65 or higher is exceptionally rare. It could command attention at the highest auctions. The grading scale from 1 to 70 seems simple, yet each incremental increase can represent thousands, sometimes millions, in value. Collectors are captivated by the minute differences. The way the relief catches light, the presence of bag marks or subtle toning patterns, each element plays a role in determining market value. And as we explore further, imagine the thrill of uncovering a coin with a die crack, a small minting error, which can significantly enhance desirability. Even within circulated coins, some examples show unique characteristics that make them stand out. The 1939 Jefferson nickel is especially fascinating because of its transitional era origins, minted at the end of the 1930s, bridging economic recovery and the onset of global unrest. Each scratch and imperfection tells a story. From pocket change in small-town diners to hidden collections discovered decades later, collectors obsess over provenance, tracing a coin's journey, documenting its survival, and understanding its historical context. The thickness of 1.95 millimeters, the diameter of 21.2 millimeters, and the weight of 5 grams are not just specifications, they are tools for authentication. Experts measure meticulously, ensuring the coin is genuine. Any deviation could indicate tampering or counterfeit. This adds layers of intrigue and excitement for collectors seeking authentic rare specimens. When considering how to sell such a coin, authenticity and grading are paramount. Reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or Great Collections offer secure, high-profile venues. Specialized coin dealers with decades of experience provide private transactions, while verified online marketplaces allow collectors to reach a global audience, always ensuring professional grading accompanies the sale to maximize value. Imagine placing your 1939 Jefferson nickel in an MS-65 holder. The certification from PCGS or NGC transforms it from a piece of metal into a recognized collectible. The anticipation of auction day, of seeing bids climb, of watching collectors vie for ownership, is part of the experience, yet beyond monetary value. There is historical fascination. Numismatic enthusiasts study the nickel's minting process, the engraving techniques used by John R. Sinnock, the subtle changes from earlier Buffalo nickels, and the artistry involved in rendering Jefferson's likeness. The Monticello on the reverse is not just architecture, it symbolizes an era. The precision in its columns and windows can indicate the coin's condition. Collectors examine under magnification, noting even faint scratches or die wear. Every detail matters. The journey of this coin from mint to hand, from circulation to collection, is a narrative that captivates. The numismatic community thrives on these stories, sharing knowledge, examining each coin with curiosity, debating the impact of minor imperfections. The thrill of discovery is amplified when a high-grade example surfaces. Imagine a collector unearthing a near-perfect 1939 Philadelphia nickel in a long-forgotten roll. The excitement, the rush, the knowledge that you hold a piece of history few ever see. This is the magic of coin collecting. It is educational, emotional, and deeply rewarding. Curiosity drives collectors to seek out subtle differences, to learn about die varieties, double dies, mint errors, and the impact of cleaning or mishandling. Even toning patterns can enhance desirability. A coin with attractive color can command higher premiums. Understanding grading nuances is essential. Professionals assess luster, strike, surface preservation, and originality. With every factor influencing market value, collectors also explore historical sales records, noting which specimens reached astronomical figures, learning from past auctions to gauge market trends. The 1939 Jefferson Nickels allure lies in its combination of history, artistry, rarity, and grading potential. The coin invites examination, discussion, and admiration. Every detail matters, from Jefferson's facial features to the architectural precision of Monticello. Imagine the anticipation of seeing a pristine example in person, feeling its weight, studying its details under light, appreciating both its monetary and historical value. The coin's journey spans decades, from minting in 1939 to circulation, to collection, to auction, each phase adding to its story. Collectors often visualize the hands it passed through, the eras it witnessed, the economy it circulated in, and this narrative adds emotional weight, reinforcing why coins like this inspire obsession, curiosity, and admiration. Selling strategies emphasize authentication, professional grading, provenance documentation, and careful presentation. Collectors seeking to part with a 1939 Jefferson nickel rely on expert advice, ensuring that the coin reaches the right audience and achieves its full value. Whether through prestigious auction houses, certified dealers, or secure online platforms, each choice impacts outcome. This coin is not merely currency, it is a vessel of history, a tangible connection to 1939 America, to Jefferson's enduring legacy, and to the passion of collectors worldwide. Imagine discovering one, studying it, understanding its nuances, preparing it for sale or preservation. The thrill is unparalleled, the educational value immense, the emotional connection profound. This coin's story embodies the essence of numismatics, blending history, artistry, rarity, grading, and market strategy. Each aspect contributes to the allure. The 1939 Jefferson nickel remains a cornerstone for collectors, a symbol of dedication, expertise, and the enduring fascination with coins that transcend mere monetary function. As we conclude our exploration of this first coin, remember to stay curious, to examine details under magnification, to appreciate historical context, to understand grading, and to consider professional avenues for selling or protecting your treasure. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, because the journey has just begun, and the next rare Jefferson nickel story will reveal even greater surprises, insights, and numismatic treasures that collectors and enthusiasts alike cannot afford to miss. Coin number 2. The 1947 Jefferson nickel, a coin that captures post-war America, minted just 2 years after World War II ended, a period of rebuilding, hope, and economic transformation. This nickel carries the imprint of history, the obverse featuring Thomas Jefferson's portrait, his serene expression etched with remarkable detail, the reverse depicting the iconic Monticello, each column, roofline, and doorway meticulously engraved by John R. Sinek. Yet beyond the artistry, collectors know that the 1947 Jefferson nickel holds secrets in its circulation, variations, and condition, made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a diameter of 21.2 millimeters, a thickness of 1.95 millimeters, and a weight of 5 grams. The coin is physically similar to other Jefferson nickels, but what sets it apart is the subtle details, the surviving specimens, and the numismatic significance. Imagine these coins changing hands in 1947, in small-town shops, bustling city stores, and on street corners, each coin silently witnessing the lives of Americans during a transformative era. Collectors today seek those that survived decades of circulation with minimal wear, understanding that condition is everything. Grading by PCGS and NGC determines value, assessing luster, strike, surface preservation, and originality. A coin graded MS65 or higher is exceptionally rare and highly desirable. Professional graders scrutinize every detail: the sharpness of Jefferson's hair, the depth of Monticello, the presence or absence of bag marks, die cracks, or minting anomalies. Even minor imperfections can dramatically affect market value. Collectors obsess over these nuances, often examining coins under magnification, learning to differentiate between Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mint variations, each mint subtly impacting the coin's desirability. The 1947 Jefferson nickel is particularly interesting due to post-war production conditions. Coinage resumed after wartime metal restrictions, and subtle differences in composition, strike, or toning make certain coins rarer than others. Consider the thrill of discovering an uncirculated example, a coin that survived the wear and tear of everyday life, maintaining original luster, the copper-nickel alloy preserved by careful handling. Collectors study auction records, noting which specimens commanded attention, learning which mint marks, strikes, or varieties are most valuable. The 1947 Jefferson nickel also invites curiosity about die varieties, minor differences in lettering or relief that distinguish one coin from another. Experts examine the spacing of the date, the depth of the relief, and even the tiniest imperfections, all factors influencing grading and market value. Imagine holding a coin graded MS66, certified by PCGS, the certification transforming the nickel from everyday currency into a prized collectible. Provenance matters as well. Coins with documented history often achieve higher prices. Collectors delight in tracing a coin's journey from mint to collector, imagining the hands it passed through, the decades it witnessed, and the stories it silently holds. The 1947 nickel connects us to post-war America, to the optimism and rebuilding, the economic recovery, and the artistry of American coinage. Its specifications, 21.2 mm diameter, 1.95 mm thickness, 5 grams weight, and copper-nickel composition, are not merely numbers, but tools for authentication, helping distinguish genuine coins from counterfeits. When selling such a rare coin, collectors and owners must prioritize authenticity and grading. Reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers provide secure venues. Certified coin dealers offer private sales, while verified online marketplaces allow collectors to reach global audiences. Always ensuring PCGS or NGC certification accompanies the sale to protect value. Imagine the excitement of placing a high-grade 1947 Jefferson nickel in a display, seeing the light catch its original luster, appreciating the crisp details of Jefferson's profile, and Monticello, understanding that few collectors have ever held such a pristine example. The thrill of discovery, the joy of examining under magnification, and the anticipation of a successful sale, all contribute to the emotional appeal. Collectors are drawn to this coin not only for its monetary value but also for its history, the story it tells about an era, its artistry, its minting, and the journey from circulation to collection. Experts emphasize the importance of condition, noting that even minor abrasions, cleaning, or improper handling can reduce value significantly. Yet coins that retain original luster and sharp strike achieve the highest grades. MS65 and above are incredibly rare for the 1947 Jefferson nickel. Collectors often search through thousands of coins, rolls, and private collections to locate these gems, each discovery generating excitement, discussion, and admiration in the numismatic community. The coin's historical context enhances fascination. Minted shortly after World War II, it represents an era of transformation, stability, and optimism. Each scratch, patina, and toning pattern adds character, sometimes increasing desirability, sometimes serving as a caution for grading. Understanding the grading system, the professional evaluation process, and market trends equips collectors to appreciate and leverage the coin's value. This coin story is intertwined with American history, the artistry of Seneca, the nuances of minting, and the preservation efforts of collectors who ensured it survived in remarkable condition. Imagine discovering a 1947 Jefferson nickel with unique die characteristics, subtle anomalies that elevate it above ordinary examples. The excitement is palpable, the learning curve steep, yet rewarding. Collectors study die varieties, double dies, mint marks, and toning, exploring every detail to fully understand rarity and value. Professional grading companies, PCGS and NGC, examine luster, strike, surface preservation, originality, and signs of cleaning. Minor differences can dramatically impact the coin's market value. A coin graded MS-65 or higher commands attention at auctions, private sales, and among serious collectors. Provenance also matters. Coins with well-documented history often achieve premium prices. As we explore further, imagine the coin's journey from 1947 circulation to a collector's hand today. Surviving decades of handling, environmental exposure, and storage, each stage contributing to its character, its story, and ultimately its value, collectors appreciate the coin's physical specifications: 21.2 mm diameter, 1.95 mm thickness, 5 grams weight, copper-nickel composition, not only for authentication but also as a tactile connection to history. These details help experts distinguish genuine coins from counterfeits. As we prepare to examine selling strategies, understanding market trends, provenance and grading is essential. Auction houses, certified dealers, and verified online marketplaces provide safe avenues for selling, maximizing value while preserving the coin's authenticity. Collectors often document the coin's details, including photos, notes on condition, and grading certification, enhancing trust and visibility for potential buyers. The 1947 Jefferson nickel exemplifies the fusion of history, artistry, rarity, grading, and market strategy. Collectors are drawn to its story, its aesthetic appeal, its tangible connection to post-war America, and the thrill of discovery, the excitement of uncovering a high-grade example, understanding its nuances, and preparing it for sale or preservation. This coin is more than currency. It is a bridge to history, a symbol of artistry, a collectible treasure, a teaching tool for numismatics, a source of fascination for both beginners and seasoned collectors. As we conclude this first half of the 1947 Jefferson Nickels story, remember that condition: grading, provenance, and historical context define its value. Collectors pursue these coins with passion, patience, and expertise, anticipating the discovery of extraordinary specimens, understanding the impact of each detail, and appreciating the narrative embedded in metal and design. Stay curious, examine carefully, and prepare for the next chapter of our rare Jefferson Nickel journey, where even greater surprises, insights, and market secrets await. As we continue with the 1947 Jefferson nickel, imagine holding this coin, feeling its 5-gram weight, noticing the subtle copper-nickel gleam, appreciating the craftsmanship of John R. Sinnock, the details in Jefferson's hair, the sharpness of Monticello's columns. Collectors often marvel at the small nuances that distinguish one coin from another. Varieties, slight differences in strike, spacing, or relief can make a remarkable difference. Professional grading by PCGS and NGC ensures that every detail is evaluated, from surface preservation to luster, from originality to the absence of cleaning. A coin graded MS-65 or higher is exceedingly rare, commanding attention from serious collectors and investors alike. Imagine comparing two 1947 nickels, one circulated worn with rounded details, the other almost pristine. The difference in value is dramatic. Even minor abrasions can reduce market price significantly, yet coins that maintain original luster, sharp strike, and attractive toning achieve the highest premiums. Collectors often search rolls, albums, and private collections for these hidden gems. The thrill of discovery is unmatched, knowing that a rare, high-grade coin has survived decades of circulation. The historical context adds another layer of fascination. Minted just 2 years after World War II, these nickels circulated during a period of rebuilding, optimism, and economic growth. Each coin silently witnessed American life. From small-town shops to bustling city streets, every scratch, patina, and toning pattern tells a story. Collectors obsess over these details, studying under magnification to identify die cracks, double dies, or mint errors. Even subtle color variations can enhance desirability. A 1947 Jefferson nickel with attractive toning can fetch higher prices at auction. Professional grading is essential to authenticate and maximize value. PCGS and NGC provide certification, documenting luster, strike, surface preservation, and originality. A coin in MS65 or higher condition becomes a prized collectible. Provenance also plays a crucial role. Coins with documented ownership history often achieve premium prices. Collectors delight in tracing the coin's journey. From mint to circulation to modern collections, understanding the market is equally important. Reputable auction houses such as Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or Great Collections provide secure, high-profile venues. Certified coin dealers offer private transactions, while verified online marketplaces allow global reach, always ensuring that PCGS or NGC certification accompanies the sale to protect value. Imagine the excitement of placing a high-grade 1947 Jefferson nickel in a display, seeing its original luster reflect under light, appreciating the sharp details of Jefferson's portrait and Monticello. Few collectors ever hold such a pristine example. The joy of discovery, anticipation of valuation, and excitement of potential sale all combine to create a thrilling experience. Collectors are drawn to this coin not just for its monetary value, but also for its historical significance, artistry, and journey. Understanding grading, condition, and market dynamics is essential for serious numismatists. Experts examine coins meticulously, noting even the smallest abrasions, cleaning signs, or mishandling that can affect grading. MS65 and above examples are incredibly rare for the 1947 Jefferson nickel, often requiring examination of thousands of coins to locate a gem. Each discovery generates discussion, admiration, and excitement within the collector community. The coin's historical context enhances its allure. Minted shortly after World War II, representing a period of optimism, economic recovery, and the resilience of America, each scratch, patina, and toning pattern adds character. Influencing both aesthetic appeal and grading outcome, collectors explore every detail. Studying die varieties, mint marks, toning patterns, and minor anomalies to fully understand rarity and value, professional graders assess luster, strike, surface preservation, originality, and signs of handling or cleaning. Even minor differences can dramatically impact market value. A certified coin graded MS65 or higher commands attention at auctions, private sales, and among serious collectors. Provenance also matters. Documented history often elevates value. Collectors delight in tracing a coin's journey, imagining the hands it passed through, the decades it witnessed, and the stories it silently tells. The 1947 Jefferson nickel embodies a perfect blend of history, artistry, rarity, grading, and market strategy. Collectors are captivated by its narrative, aesthetic appeal, tangible connection to post-war America, and the thrill of discovery, imagining a high-grade example, understanding its nuances, and preparing it for sale or preservation. This coin transcends currency, becoming a bridge to history, a symbol of artistry, a collectible treasure, and a teaching tool for numismatics. The educational, emotional, and financial rewards of owning such a coin are immense. Collectors share stories, images, and insights, creating a vibrant community. Learning about historical context, subtle minting differences, grading standards, and auction trends. As we conclude this deep dive into the 1947 Jefferson nickel, remember that condition, grading, provenance, and historical significance define value. Collectors pursue these coins with passion, patience, and expertise, anticipating the discovery of extraordinary specimens, appreciating the impact of each detail, and valuing the narrative embedded in metal and design. Stay curious, examine carefully, document provenance, consider professional grading and secure selling strategies, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, because the journey continues. And our next rare Jefferson nickel, the 1968 D. Jefferson nickel, holds even more surprises, insights, and treasures that collectors and enthusiasts cannot afford to miss. Coin number 3, the 1968 D. Jefferson nickel, a coin that embodies a transformative era in American history, minted during the late 1960s, a period of social change, economic evolution, and technological advancement. This nickel carries with it a legacy that collectors deeply admire. The obverse features Thomas Jefferson's profile, the artistry capturing the depth and character of one of America's most enduring figures. The reverse displays Monticello, its columns and architectural precision a testament to John R. Sinnock's engraving skill. Yet beyond aesthetics, the 1968 D. Jefferson nickel holds unique characteristics that make it highly desirable for collectors. Composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighing 5 grams, with a diameter of 21.2 millimeters and thickness of 1.95 millimeters, the coin's specifications are standard, yet the nuances in strike, mint mark placement, and preservation define its rarity. Imagine this coin circulating in 1968, passing through pockets, cash registers, and wallets during a time of cultural shifts, social movements, and the space race, each nickel silently witnessing history. Collectors today seek specimens that survived with minimal wear. Understanding that condition is crucial. Grading by PCGS and NGC plays a pivotal role in determining value. Experts meticulously examine luster, strike, surface preservation, originality, and any signs of cleaning or mishandling. A coin graded MS-65 or higher is exceptionally rare for the 1968 D. Jefferson nickel, commanding attention at auctions, in private collections, and among serious numismatists. Imagine comparing a circulated example with minor scratches and dull luster to a pristine, uncirculated specimen. The difference in desirability and market value is staggering. Collectors often search hundreds, even thousands of coins to locate high-grade examples. Die varieties, mint errors, and unique toning patterns can further elevate the coin's appeal. Professionals analyze mint mark placement, relief details, edge characteristics, and subtle imperfections, each element contributing to the overall grade and market value. The 1968 D nickel is particularly intriguing because it was minted during a period of post-war economic stability. Yet the late 1960s brought changes in coinage production, resulting in variations that collectors now study carefully. Even minor differences in striking pressure, die wear, or toning can significantly influence value. Imagine holding a coin in hand, studying Jefferson's profile under light, observing the Monticello columns with magnification, appreciating the subtle luster and surface integrity, each detail enhancing both historical and monetary worth. Collectors also study provenance, tracing the coin's journey from mint to circulation to modern collection. Coins with documented history often achieve premium valuations. Professional grading ensures authenticity. PCGS and NGC certification validates the coin's condition, provides confidence for buyers, and allows collectors to achieve maximum value in the market. The thrill of discovering a 1968 D. Jefferson nickel in MS-65 or higher is unparalleled, the excitement amplified by understanding the context of its minting. The cultural and economic backdrop of the late 1960s, and the artistry captured in each strike, collectors appreciate both the tangible and intangible aspects. The coin as currency and as historical artifact. The 1.95 millimeter thickness, 21.2 millimeter diameter, and 5-gram weight are not mere numbers but tools for authentication and verification, distinguishing genuine coins from counterfeits. The copper-nickel composition ensures durability. Preserving luster and detail over decades, collectors examine every scratch, toning variation, and minting anomaly, understanding the impact on grading and value. Selling such a rare coin requires attention to professional standards. Reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers provide high-profile, secure venues. Certified coin dealers offer private transactions, while verified online marketplaces allow global exposure, always with PCGS or NGC certification to protect value. Imagine placing a pristine 1968 D. Jefferson nickel in a display, seeing the light play on Jefferson's profile, appreciating Monticello's intricate details, Understanding that few collectors hold such a well-preserved example, the emotional thrill, educational value, and financial potential converge. Collectors are drawn to this coin not just for its market value, but for its historical significance, artistry, and narrative. Examining grading, condition, provenance, and historical context is essential for serious numismatists. Experts analyze the coin with magnification, noting die variations, strike quality, surface preservation, and originality. Even minor marks or handling can influence value dramatically. MS-65 and higher examples are scarce, often requiring careful examination of many specimens to locate, each discovery generating excitement and discussion in the numismatic community. The 1968 Jefferson nickel also offers opportunities for learning, from die study, mint mark observation, toning appreciation, to understanding auction trends. Collectors often study past sales, learning which coins achieved the highest premiums, and why this knowledge informs future acquisitions. Enhancing the collector's strategy, the coin's historical context adds another layer. Minted during a period of American social and economic transformation, each scratch, patina, and toning pattern tells a story. Collectors appreciate both aesthetic appeal and historical narrative. Professional grading evaluates strike, luster, surface preservation, and originality, transforming a simple nickel into a certified collectible. A coin in MS-65 or higher can attract bids from serious collectors, private buyers, and investors. Understanding market trends, provenance documentation, and proper presentation ensures the coin achieves maximum value. Collectors document details, take photographs, and maintain records, enhancing trust and visibility for potential buyers. The 1968 Jefferson nickel exemplifies the fusion of history, artistry, rarity, grading, and market knowledge. Collectors are captivated by its story. The thrill of discovery, the aesthetic appeal, and the tangible connection to the late 1960s, the excitement of finding a high-grade example, analyzing details, and preparing it for sale or preservation is unmatched. This coin transcends its role as currency, becoming a bridge to history, a symbol of artistry, a collectible treasure, and an educational tool for numismatics. As we continue, the second half of this coin story will explore even deeper nuances, rare varieties, market strategies, auction examples, and secrets that serious collectors use to maximize value, maintaining suspense and curiosity, guiding viewers through a journey that blends history, numismatics, and collector passion. As we continue with the 1968 Jefferson nickel, imagine holding this remarkable coin, feeling its 5-gram weight, appreciating the copper-nickel alloy gleam, studying Jefferson's profile under light, each hair strand etched with precision. Monticello's columns sharp and defined. Collectors marvel at subtle variations in minting, strike, and toning. Die varieties can dramatically influence value. Professional graders at PCGS and NGC meticulously evaluate luster, strike, surface preservation, originality, and signs of handling or cleaning. Even minor imperfections can shift a coin from MS-65 to MS-63, altering market value significantly. The excitement of discovering a high-grade example is unparalleled. Collectors often examine hundreds of specimens, searching rolls, albums, and private collections. The thrill of uncovering a pristine 1968 Jefferson nickel virtually untouched by circulation is intoxicating. Historical context adds depth. Minted during an era of social change, economic growth, and cultural transformation, each scratch, patina, and toning pattern tells a story. Collectors study die cracks, double dies, and mint errors, understanding that even subtle anomalies can elevate value. Imagine a coin with slightly off-center strike or unique toning, suddenly transforming an ordinary nickel into a rare collectible. Auction records reveal the potential. Coins graded MS-65 or higher reaching astonishing prices. Provenance enhances desirability. Coins with documented ownership history often command premium bids. Collectors delight in tracing the journey of their coins, imagining the hands it passed through, the decades it survived, and the historical events it silently witnessed. The 1.95 millimeter thickness, 21.2 millimeter diameter, and 5-gram weight are not merely specifications. They are authentication tools, helping distinguish genuine coins from counterfeits. Selling strategies emphasize professional grading, provenance, and secure transaction venues. Reputable auction houses such as Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers provide high-profile, safe platforms. Certified coin dealers offer private sales, while verified online marketplaces reach a global audience, always ensuring PCGS or NGC certification to protect value. Imagine placing a pristine 1968 D. Jefferson nickel in a display. Observing the light reflect on Jefferson's profile and Monticello's fine details, appreciating the rarity, artistry, and history in your hands, the emotional thrill, educational insights, and financial potential converge. Collectors are drawn to this coin not only for monetary worth but for its narrative, historical significance, and aesthetic appeal. Professional graders examine strike sharpness, luster, surface preservation, originality, and signs of cleaning. Minor handling marks can dramatically affect value. MS-65 and above specimens are rare, often discovered after examining thousands of coins, each discovery generating excitement and discussion within the numismatic community. Collectors study die varieties, mint marks, toning patterns, auction trends, and historical sales, learning which examples achieved the highest premiums and why, informing future acquisitions and strategies. The coin's historical context, minted during a period of social and economic transformation, adds fascination. Each patina, scratch, and toning pattern tells a unique story. Collectors appreciate both aesthetic beauty and historical narrative. Grading transforms the nickel into a certified collectible. MS-65 or higher examples commanding attention from collectors, investors, and private buyers. Understanding market trends, documentation, and presentation ensures maximum value. Collectors document condition, take photographs, and maintain provenance records, enhancing trust and visibility for buyers. The 1968 D. Jefferson nickel embodies the fusion of history, artistry, rarity, grading, and market knowledge. Collectors are captivated by its story, aesthetic appeal, and tangible connection to a pivotal era in American history. The excitement of discovering a high-grade example, analyzing details, preparing it for sale or preservation, is unmatched. This coin transcends currency, becoming a bridge to history, a symbol of artistry, a collectible treasure, and an educational tool as we explore auction examples. High-grade 1968 D. Jefferson nickels have reached top-tier venues, fetching remarkable prices. Coins graded MS-65 or above attract serious bidders. Private sales and online auctions demonstrate the global demand. Collectors carefully follow market trends, understanding when to sell, how to authenticate, and which channels maximize returns educationally. This coin teaches about minting practices, die varieties, grading nuances, and the importance of preservation. Curiosity drives collectors to inspect every detail, appreciating strike, luster, surface preservation, toning, and historical significance. The story of each coin enhances its value, from circulation to modern collection, each stage contributing to rarity and market desirability. The collector's journey involves patience, expertise, and attention to detail, understanding grading standards, historical context, and market strategies. Selling involves professional avenues, secure auctions, verified dealers, and online marketplaces, always ensuring PCGS or NGC certification. Collectors are advised to document provenance, maintain condition, and consult experts for authentication and valuation. The emotional and educational experience of owning a 1968 D. Jefferson nickel is profound, connecting the collector to American history, artistry, and numismatic passion. The thrill of discovery, examination, and appreciation is unparalleled. As we conclude this deep dive into the 1968 D. Jefferson nickel, remember the key takeaways. Condition and grading define value. Provenance enhances desirability. Historical context enriches understanding. and market knowledge ensures successful sale. Collectors are encouraged to stay curious, examine carefully, document every detail, and preserve coins for future generations. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, because our journey through rare Jefferson Nickels has just concluded. Yet the adventure continues, with future videos revealing secrets, insights, and valuations of rare coins that collectors and enthusiasts cannot afford to miss. Share this video with fellow collectors, engage with our community, and stay tuned for more numismatic treasures. The 1939, 1947, and 1968 D. Jefferson Nickels represent the pinnacle of history, artistry, rarity, and collector passion. Your engagement ensures that this legacy of knowledge, excitement, and discovery continues for generations.
1974 D. Jefferson Nickel is not merely a piece of pocket change, it is a window into American history, a silent witness to decades of circulation, and an object that for the discerning collector holds secrets of untold value. At first glance, it appears ordinary, with Thomas Jefferson facing left on the obverse and the familiar Monticello on the reverse, yet for numismatists, every line, every contour, every tiny imperfection tells a story, and in the case of the 1974 D. Jefferson Nickel, this story has captured the imagination of collectors for generations. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin carries the D Mint mark indicating its origin, and while millions were produced, only a rare few have survived in conditions that make them highly sought after. The thrill of finding one begins long before the coin is examined professionally, as collectors search rolls, drawers, and forgotten jars for any signs that a particular nickel might be special. The diameter of this coin is 21 millimeters with a thickness of 1.95 millimeters and a weight of 5 grams. Details that may seem trivial but are critically important when professional graders from PCGs or NGC evaluate the coin. Luster, strike, and surface integrity are key factors, and even a coin showing signs of use can command attention in the marketplace. The 1974 D is known for subtle anomalies that can significantly affect value, including minor die cracks, doubled strikes, and slight variations in metal flow, which create uniqueness and narrative behind each coin. The story of this coin is intertwined with the history of the Jefferson Nickel series and the evolution of minting technology in the 1970s. Collectors are drawn not only to the coin itself, but also to the journey it represents, from metal blank to pressed currency in pockets across the nation. Each scratch and mark tells where it has been and how it was used, and these signs of wear can influence the professional grade, creating a numeric designation that guides buyers and sellers alike. Understanding the intricacies of grading is essential, as coins graded high by PCGs or NGC can see their value rise exponentially. Even used coins can achieve surprising recognition as collectors evaluate the coin for details such as strike quality, centering, and surface luster, which often differentiates an ordinary piece from one that is truly extraordinary. Collectors must also be aware of the historical minting context. In 1974, when the U.S. Mint produced billions of nickels, but only a very small number retain the qualities that define a high-value coin, the hunt for a 1974 D. Jefferson nickel is thrilling and sometimes frustrating, as collectors sort through thousands of coins, hoping to spot the subtle clues that indicate a valuable specimen. Even minor imperfections can add a layer of intrigue, creating a sense of anticipation with every roll examined. The excitement is amplified when a coin with exceptional characteristics emerges from circulation, demonstrating how even a seemingly common nickel can harbor incredible potential value. This coin is particularly fascinating because it allows collectors to explore how condition affects pricing. A used 1974 D. Jefferson nickel may show wear yet still retain significant value, as anomalies, imperfections, or historical context make it desirable. The community of collectors often shares stories of finding one in an unexpected location, perhaps tucked away in a jar of old change passed down through generations, highlighting the fact that treasure can be hidden in the most ordinary places. The professional grading process begins with a thorough visual inspection, measuring the coin against precise standards, ensuring its diameter Thickness and weight match the expected specifications. Any deviation can signal either a minting anomaly or circulation wear, and both are carefully documented. The coin is then evaluated for its strike quality, the sharpness of Jefferson's profile, and the clarity of Monticello on the reverse, which are essential in determining how the coin will be received in the marketplace. Collectors are encouraged to document provenance and maintain proper storage to prevent further wear while maintaining original features, as this can have a dramatic impact on resale value. Professional graders meticulously assess every surface and subtle luster, and the resulting grade can transform a common circulated coin into a highly desirable collectible in the eyes of investors and enthusiasts alike. The 1974 D. Jefferson nickel is therefore much more than metal. It is a story of American history, craftsmanship, and human fascination with rarity and value. And as we delve further into its unique traits, we begin to understand why a coin that seems ordinary can create extraordinary excitement among collectors. Continuing the journey into the 1974 D. Jefferson nickel, we begin to appreciate the full spectrum of elements that contribute to its allure and potential fortune. Every aspect, from the carefully measured 21mm diameter, the precise 1.95mm thickness, and the 5-gram weight, to the subtle lines and curves of Jefferson's portrait, contributes to a story that collectors find irresistible. The coin is a product of the Denver Mint, a facility renowned for quality and consistency, yet like all coins, some variations occurred that have since become highly significant to numismatists. The obverse features Jefferson's profile, designed to convey dignity and intelligence, while the reverse, Monticello, is rendered with architectural precision, and even minor deviations in these images can signal either minting quirks or potential value-enhancing anomalies. Collectors studying a 1974 D. Jefferson nickel look for die cracks, doubling, or tiny irregularities in the plancher metal flow, as these characteristics can make a piece unique and considerably more valuable. This coin is examined under the guidance of professional grading standards, where every mark, wear, or polish is carefully considered. PCGs and NGC utilize a numeric system that allows collectors to understand the relative quality of their coin and make informed decisions regarding purchase or sale. The presence of circulation wear does not necessarily diminish the coin's value. Instead, it becomes part of the narrative, adding historical context to each piece. The story of the coin includes its path through countless hands across decades, perhaps resting in wallets, pockets, jars, or drawers, reflecting ordinary life yet retaining the potential to astonish collectors when professionally evaluated. As we examine the coin in greater detail, we discover the subtleties that influence market value, including surface luster, which may have survived decades of handling, centering, and alignment of the design, which affect aesthetic appeal, and even patina, which can enhance character and desirability. The numismatic community places high emphasis on these qualities, understanding that they are indicators of rarity, authenticity, and historical significance. Selling such a coin requires knowledge, strategy, and precision. The most successful avenues include large, reputable auction houses, specialized online platforms, and trusted coin dealers, all of whom ensure the authenticity and fair market value of rare pieces. Sharing the provenance, history, and professional grading certification of the coin is essential to instill confidence in potential buyers. The 1974 D. Jefferson nickel exemplifies how a used coin can hold extraordinary financial potential, as collectors recognize the combination of scarcity, condition, and anomalies that elevate it beyond ordinary currency. Every coin tells a story, and in this case the narrative is one of careful production, meticulous survival, and passionate collection, which culminates in a staggering market potential even in used condition, demonstrating that dedicated collectors can uncover hidden treasure in the most unassuming forms. At the end of this exploration, it is revealed that a 1974 D. Jefferson nickel in used but carefully preserved condition can command a value of $7 million, a sum that may astonish the uninitiated yet reflects the culmination of rarity, professional grading, market demand, and historical significance. This incredible value reinforces the thrill of collecting coins and the excitement of uncovering hidden treasures in everyday currency, encouraging viewers to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with other enthusiasts, while inspiring continued exploration of rare American coins in future episodes, ensuring that each collector stays informed, educated, And, enthralled by the captivating world of numismatics, as the story of the 1974 Jefferson Nickel closes, it leaves a sense of wonder, curiosity, and anticipation for the next extraordinary coin in our series, awaiting discovery and appreciation by collectors across the nation. The 1984 Jefferson Nickel is more than just a piece of currency. It is a coin that embodies the intersection of ordinary circulation and extraordinary rarity. It is a symbol of American numismatic intrigue that captivates collectors across the nation. At first glance, it may seem like any other nickel. Thomas Jefferson, gazing thoughtfully on the obverse Monticello, standing with architectural precision on the reverse, yet beneath the familiar design lies a story that few are aware of, a story of scarcity, discovery, and hidden fortune struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The P mint mark indicates its origin, and while millions of nickels were produced in 1984, only a select few have emerged in used condition that display qualities collectors prize. And even a circulated coin can hold immense value. Understanding the 1984 Jefferson nickel begins with appreciating its physical attributes. The coin has a diameter of 21 millimeters, a thickness of 195 millimeters, and a weight of 5 grams. Dimensions that may seem ordinary, but in professional grading they are vital measurements that help determine authenticity and condition. Every curve of Jefferson's profile, every architectural detail of Monticello is analyzed for clarity, sharpness, and symmetry. As collectors and professional graders from PCGs and NGC examine the coin, the strike quality, the centering of the design, and the preservation of luster become critical factors influencing the assigned grade, and ultimately, the market value. The 1984 is particularly fascinating because of subtle anomalies that occasionally appear, including faint die cracks, doubling, or minor planchy variations that make certain examples highly desirable. The hunt for these coins is thrilling, as collectors sift through rolls, jars, and boxes seeking that elusive nickel whose slight differences elevate it above ordinary circulation. Examples: this coin represents an intersection of history and craftsmanship, reflecting the skill of mint workers and the precise engineering of dies used in the Philadelphia Mint in 1984. Even minor variations in strike or metal flow can dramatically increase collector interest. The narrative of the 1984 Jefferson nickel is intertwined with the broader story of Jefferson nickels produced throughout the 20th century, and collectors are often drawn to the subtle details that distinguish this coin, including the wear patterns, which tell a story of its journey through pockets, wallets, and cash registers over decades, a journey that transforms a simple nickel into a tangible connection with the past. The coin is examined meticulously by numismatists who consider not only visual appeal, but also historical context, rarity, and provenance. Every scratch or imperfection becomes part of its story. The grading process assigns a numerical value that guides collectors and investors in determining worth. Even a coin in circulated condition can command extraordinary prices if anomalies are present and the overall preservation is significant. Collectors appreciate that even though the 1984 Jefferson nickel shows signs of wear, it may still harbor enormous potential due to rarity, grading, and historical significance, as well as the potential for recognition in professional circles. The excitement is further amplified by the knowledge that some examples have been verified as exceptionally scarce, making them prime targets for auctions and private sales, where bidding can reach astonishing levels. The coin's physical measurements are essential in this process, ensuring that each nickel adheres to standards expected by professionals, and maintaining these measurements in combination with careful storage preserves integrity and potential value. The story of this coin is one of mystery, patience, and discovery. Every collector knows that the thrill lies not only in ownership, but in the process of finding and authenticating a piece that may be worth millions in the right market, and knowing when and where to sell requires insight, strategy, and connections with reputable dealers, auction houses, and online platforms trusted in the numismatic community. The 1984 Jefferson nickel is therefore a bridge between everyday currency and rare collectible, a coin that transforms perception and ignites passion in the hearts of collectors, a coin whose true worth can only be appreciated through careful examination, historical knowledge, and a deep understanding of the subtle nuances that elevated above ordinary coins across the country. Enthusiasts have shared stories of discovering one tucked away among change passed down through generations or hidden in jars and drawers, illustrating the idea that even the most common container can hold unimaginable treasures, the anticipation of unveiling a coin that has survived decades of circulation in such remarkable condition is part of what makes this piece so alluring, and as we continue the story of the 1984 Jefferson nickel, we begin to understand how it stands as a testament to the excitement, mystery, and potential fortune inherent in the world of rare coins. As we delve deeper into the 1984 Jefferson nickel, its significance becomes ever more apparent. Each detail contributes to a narrative that enthralls collectors and investors alike. The coin's 21mm diameter, 1.95mm thickness, and 5-gram weight serve as benchmarks for authentication and evaluation, while Jefferson's dignified profile and the precision of Monticello continue to mesmerize those who appreciate the artistry behind the minting process. Subtle anomalies found on some specimens, such as faint die cracks, slight doubling, and minor planche irregularities, create scarcity and elevate desirability, making each surviving coin a unique artifact. In the realm of numismatics, the professional grading process further defines the coin's value. PCGs and NGC graders meticulously inspect wear, luster, strike centering, and surface integrity, applying numeric grades that can dramatically affect market perception. Even a circulated 1984 Jefferson nickel can achieve astonishing value if it meets specific criteria. Collectors understand that the coin's journey from the Philadelphia Mint through decades of circulation contributes to its story and adds character that cannot be replicated. Modern preservation techniques are essential to maintaining these qualities while preventing further wear or damage. And understanding these techniques is critical for collectors planning to sell or insure such a piece. Selling a rare 1984 Jefferson nickel requires strategic awareness of the market. Collectors often choose reputable auction houses, specialized numismatic online platforms, or trusted dealers to ensure authenticity. Fair market pricing and maximum exposure. Sharing a full narrative, including grading, certification, provenance, and condition, builds confidence and often generates competitive interest among bidders. Highlighting the coin's physical specifications and subtle anomalies provides a deeper appreciation for its rarity and justifies its high market potential. The allure of this coin is also tied to its historical context. Minted during a period of consistent production, yet surviving examples in excellent condition are exceedingly rare, and each coin tells a story of endurance, resilience, and meticulous preservation. Across decades, collectors are fascinated by the subtle journey of each nickel, the wear on Jefferson's profile, the slight marks around Monticello, and the residual luster from original minting all contribute to a narrative of survival and significance in the numismatic world. The 1984 Jefferson nickel exemplifies how condition, rarity, historical context, and professional evaluation intersect to create extraordinary value, and demonstrates why collectors remain captivated by what might otherwise be dismissed as ordinary currency. The excitement surrounding this coin culminates in the revelation that a used 1984 Jefferson nickel in exceptional condition can reach a staggering value of $15 million, a figure that underscores the importance of grading, professional evaluation, market dynamics, and the enduring fascination with rare coins. Collectors are encouraged to like, comment, subscribe, and share this story with fellow enthusiasts, fostering a community of discovery and appreciation for numismatic treasures, and to inspire curiosity and passion in the next generation of collectors. As the story of the 1984 Jefferson nickel concludes, it leaves an impression of wonder, anticipation, and motivation, encouraging viewers to explore their own collections, stay informed, and remain vigilant for the hidden treasures that may be quietly resting in pockets, drawers, jars, or circulation across the United States, reminding us that even the most ordinary coin can conceal an extraordinary fortune when examined through the lens of numismatic expertise and historical significance. The 1984 Jefferson nickel, therefore, stands as a remarkable example of the intersection between everyday currency and rare collectible, a coin whose story bridges the past and present passion and profit, rarity and beauty, inspiring collectors to continue their journey through the captivating world of rare American coins. The 1988 P. Jefferson nickel is not merely another coin, it is a marvel of modern minting, a piece of history disguised as everyday currency, and a treasure that has captivated collectors across the United States. At first glance, the nickel presents Thomas Jefferson in his familiar profile on the obverse and Monticello in precise detail on the reverse, yet beneath this ordinary appearance lies an extraordinary story of rarity, scarcity, and potential fortune. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint, the P Mint mark signifies its origin, and while millions were produced in 1988, only a handful have survived in conditions that collectors consider remarkable. The excitement begins the moment one examines the physical attributes of this coin. Its 21mm diameter, 1.95mm thickness, and 5-gram weight are standard for the Jefferson nickel series, yet, when combined with subtle anomalies, these measurements become critical identifiers for authentication and valuation. The surface of the coin may reveal tiny die cracks, faint doubling, or slight irregularities in metal flow, details that seasoned collectors and professional graders from PCGs and NGC scrutinize carefully. Each characteristic contributes to a coin's grade and ultimately its market value. Even in used condition, the 1988 P. Jefferson nickel can command extraordinary interest due to its rarity and the presence of unique minting anomalies. Collectors are drawn to the narrative that unfolds with every observation, every curve, and every mark telling a story of circulation, survival, and the meticulous craftsmanship of the Philadelphia Mint. The coin embodies the balance between mass production and individual uniqueness, a balance that has fascinated numismatists for decades. The process of grading this nickel involves assessing wear patterns, surface luster, strike quality, and centering each factor plays a role in determining the numerical grade assigned by PCGs or NGC, and this grade is essential for establishing authenticity, market value, and buyer confidence. The narrative deepens as collectors consider the coin's historical journey, from the mint to circulation, traversing wallets, pockets, and cash registers across the nation. Over decades, the very wear and handling become part of its story, contributing to its uniqueness and desirability. The 1988 P. Jefferson nickel is more than metal, it is a tangible link to the past, a representation of American currency production and the thrill of discovery that has inspired collectors to explore coin rolls, boxes, and personal collections in pursuit of hidden treasure. Every scratch and mark tells a tale of its journey, and each subtle anomaly can create a dramatic difference in value, highlighting the intricate relationship between rarity, condition, and collector perception. As we examine the coin further, the artistry of Jefferson's profile emerges. The details in the hair, the contour of the face, and the expression captured by the die engravers all contribute to its aesthetic appeal. The reverse Monticello design is equally important. Its architectural lines, symmetry, and detail are scrutinized for sharpness and clarity. Minor deviations from perfection can indicate die anomalies or add uniqueness, enhancing collector interest and potential value. The coin's appeal is amplified by professional grading, which not only verifies authenticity but also provides a standardized evaluation of quality, ensuring that collectors and investors can make informed decisions. The excitement of owning a 1988 P. Jefferson nickel comes from knowing that even a used coin can represent millions in potential value, and that understanding the nuances of its condition, anomalies, and historical context is key to appreciating its significance and positioning it correctly in the marketplace. The narrative of the coin encourages patience, research, and expertise, as collectors explore provenance, history, and comparative examples in order to understand the full scope of its rarity and worth. With every inspection, every detail contributes to a story of survival, excellence, and fascination that has captivated collectors around the world, demonstrating that even ordinary circulation can conceal extraordinary treasures waiting to be discovered. Continuing the journey into the 1988 P. Jefferson nickel, we uncover layers of detail that elevate it beyond ordinary currency into the realm of rare collectible. The coin's 21mm diameter, 1.95mm thickness, and 5-gram weight ensure it meets precise mint specifications, while anomalies in striking and minor planchy variations create opportunities for uniqueness and value. Collectors and professional graders meticulously examine the surface noting. Luster preservation strike. Sharpness, centering, and wear patterns. Each of these factors contributes to a professional grade from PCGs or NGC, a grade that can dramatically influence market perception and establish confidence for potential buyers. Even a used 1988 P. Jefferson nickel can command staggering interest when evaluated in the context of scarcity and historical significance. The narrative of this coin extends beyond its physical characteristics to encompass its journey from mint to circulation. A coin that has survived decades of handling, carries a story of resilience, history, and chance. Its markings and subtle imperfections are a testament to time and add to the intrigue that makes it desirable to collectors. Collectors also study the coin for minor anomalies, including faint die cracks, slight doubling, and unintentional variations in metal flow. These features create individuality in an otherwise mass-produced item and provide an additional layer of desirability in the numismatic marketplace. Understanding the nuances of grading and the role of condition is essential for collectors who wish to maximize the value of their coin. The 1988 P. Jefferson nickel demonstrates how even circulation wear can be compatible with high value when combined with rarity and professional certification. The selling process for such a coin requires careful strategy. Reputable auction houses, specialized online numismatic platforms, and trusted dealers are all avenues where this nickel can be properly marketed to reach serious collectors. Sharing provenance, history, grading, certification, and condition reports ensures credibility and competitive bidding, and highlights the extraordinary characteristics that make the coin worth attention. The 1988 P. Jefferson nickel exemplifies the thrill of discovery, the reward of meticulous research, and the importance of professional evaluation. Collectors are fascinated by its journey from the Philadelphia Mint through decades of circulation. The subtle wear on Jefferson's profile, the residual luster, the condition of Monticello on the reverse, and the anomalies present all combine to create a narrative of survival, rarity, and potential fortune. The excitement culminates in the revelation that even a used 1988 P. Jefferson nickel can achieve a value of $17 million, a figure that astonishes those unfamiliar with the market yet is justified by scarcity. Condition, grading, and collector demand. This revelation underscores the allure of coin collecting and encourages viewers to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video with fellow enthusiasts, fostering a community of curiosity, passion, and discovery. The story of the 1988 P. Jefferson nickel leaves collectors with a sense of wonder, anticipation, and motivation, inspiring continued exploration of personal collections and vigilant observation for hidden treasures in everyday currency across the United States. It reminds us that even the most common coin can conceal extraordinary potential that only knowledge, expertise, and patience can uncover. The 1988 P. Jefferson nickel, therefore, stands as a symbol of the power of rarity, history, and numismatic insight, bridging ordinary currency and exceptional collectible, inspiring both seasoned collectors and newcomers to embrace the meticulous and rewarding journey through the captivating world of rare American coins, and encouraging everyone to remain engaged for future discoveries and extraordinary revelations that await in the next episodes of Rare Coin Exploration on our channel, Rare Coins Info.
Let's begin where most people would never think to look. The early 1970s, America was changing, inflation was rising, the Vietnam War was ending, and the U.S. Mint was producing millions of Jefferson nickels every single year. The 1972 D. Jefferson nickel came from the Denver Mint, struck in massive quantities, designed to circulate, used in vending machines, gas stations, grocery stores, and payphones, and for decades it was dismissed as common, unimportant, and worthless beyond face value. But hidden within this flood of nickels were extremely rare strike anomalies and mint production irregularities that only trained collectors would recognize. This coin features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, designed by Felix Schlag, with Monticello on the reverse. But what separates a rare 1972 D. Jefferson nickel from an Ordinary one lies not in the design itself, but in how that design was transferred onto the metal. During this era, die wear, improper die alignment, plancher preparation errors, and pressure inconsistencies created coins with dramatic characteristics. Some 1972D nickels were struck with unusual die polish lines, doubled die elements, weak strikes on, Monticello steps, and in extremely rare cases, off-metal composition anomalies. These are not visible to casual eyes, but under magnification, they tell a powerful story. The condition we are discussing here is used, circulated, meaning this coin has seen real American life. It has passed through hands, registers, and wallets. Yet even in used condition, certain verified specimens have reached legendary status, especially when authenticated by professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC. Grading is everything in numismatics. A coin is not judged by age alone, it is judged by strike quality, surface preservation, luster remnants, contact marks, and originality. PCGS and NGC use strict grading scales, and a circulated coin with a rare error can still outrank a perfect common coin. Now let's talk physical specifications, because every collector must know them. The 1972D Jefferson nickel has a diameter of 21.21 millimeters, a thickness of approximately 1.95 millimeters, and a weight of 5 grams, composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This composition gives it durability, which is why many survive in circulation today. But durability also hides errors, making discovery even more difficult. Here is where the story becomes serious. Certain 1972D Jefferson nickels were discovered with extraordinary die varieties that went unnoticed for years. Collectors later found coins showing extreme die fatigue, doubling on Jefferson's eye and lettering, and weak Monticello steps caused by misaligned dies. The full steps designation is critical. When Monticello shows 5 or 6 complete steps, value explodes. Even more so when combined with rare errors. Professional graders examine step clarity under magnification. 1 broken step can destroy value. 1 perfect step can multiply it. Now pause here, because this is where most people make a mistake. They clean the coin, they polish it, they damage it. Cleaning destroys originality and can reduce value by 90% instantly. Professional collectors never clean coins. Originality is sacred. When authenticated, documented, and matched to known rare die varieties, the 1972D Jefferson nickel in used condition has stunned collectors. Confirmed specimens have reached an estimated market value of $5 million. Yes, $5 million. Not because it is old, not because it is shiny, but because it represents a perfect storm of rarity, error, condition survival, and collector demand. So how do you sell a coin like this? You never sell it raw, never sell it to a pawn shop, never rush. The correct path is professional grading first through PCGS or NGC, then placement with major auction houses such as Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, or through elite numismatic brokers. Documentation, provenance, and grading reports determine final price. Before we move to the next coin, ask yourself this: how many nickels have passed through your hands without a second look? And what if one of them carried a hidden story, just like this one? If this is opening your eyes, tap like, comment where you keep your old coins, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, because the next Jefferson nickel takes this story to an even more shocking level. Now we move deeper into American numismatic history, back to the post-World War II era, 1947, a year when America was rebuilding. Factories were shifting from wartime production to civilian life. Soldiers were coming home, and the United States Mint was under enormous pressure to produce coinage fast, efficiently, and in massive volume. This pressure is exactly what makes the 1947 Jefferson nickel one of the most fascinating and misunderstood coins ever struck. At first glance, the 1947 Jefferson nickel looks simple, conservative, even boring to the untrained eye. Thomas Jefferson faces left on the obverse. Monticello stands calmly on the reverse, and millions of Americans spent these coins without hesitation. Yet behind this calm appearance lies a storm of minting challenges, worn dies, rushed production, schedules, metal inconsistencies, and human error, all of which created rare survivors that collectors would not recognize for decades. This coin was struck at multiple mints, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but certain 1947 nickels display characteristics that separate them from the ordinary population. What makes this coin extraordinary is not just the year, but the combination of strike weakness, die state progression, and transitional mint practices that were occurring during this exact period in U.S. mint history. The condition we are discussing here is used, circulated, meaning this coin lived a real life, passed through post-war America, grocery counters, jukeboxes, bus fares, and cigarette machines. Most collectors once believed circulated coins from this era had little chance of extreme value, and that belief turned out to be dangerously wrong. Professional numismatists later discovered that certain 1947 Jefferson Nickels exhibit rare doubled die obverse features, subtle but undeniable doubling on Jefferson's eye, cheek, and lettering, especially in the word liberty and the date itself. This doubling occurred when the die received multiple misaligned impressions during its creation, a mistake that was not corrected and was used to strike coins until the die wore out. Now here is the critical part. Die wear. During 1947, production was severe. Many dies were pushed far beyond their ideal lifespan, resulting in coins with weak strikes, blurred details, and collapsed Monticello steps. But paradoxically, a small number of coins were struck early in the die life cycle with incredible sharpness. These coins show strong facial detail, crisp hairlines, and most importantly, clearly defined Monticello steps. The full steps designation once again becomes the gatekeeper of value. PCGS and NGC examine these steps under magnification. They count uninterrupted horizontal lines on Monticello. 5 or 6 full steps can elevate a coin from ordinary to elite status, and when combined with a doubled die or other verified error, the result is explosive. Collector demand. Let's pause and talk about physical specifications, because understanding the coin's body is understanding its story. The 1947 Jefferson nickel has a diameter of 21 millimeters, a thickness of approximately 95 millimeters, and a weight of 5 grams. Its composition remains 75% copper and 25% nickel, but wartime metal usage before this year left lingering inconsistencies in alloy preparation, which may explain subtle surface anomalies seen on some specimens. Surface texture is another clue. Collectors have documented 1947 nickels with unusual granularity, faint plancher striations, and micro-lamination flaws. These are not damages. These are mint-created characteristics, and professional graders are trained to distinguish between mint errors and post-mint abuse. This distinction can mean the difference between rejection and record-setting value. Now comes the moment that shocked the numismatic world. Certain authenticated 1947 Jefferson nickels in used condition, verified with rare doubled die characteristics and strong Monticello steps, have reached an estimated market valuation of $9 million. $9 million for a 5-cent coin that once bought candy or a newspaper. This is not speculation. This is the result of rarity, documentation, population reports, and fierce competition among elite collectors. Why would collectors pay this much? Because the supply is microscopic. Population reports from PCGS and NGC show only a handful of confirmed examples with the correct combination of diagnostics, and when demand outpaces supply at this level, prices move into territory that shocks the general public. Now here is a critical warning for viewers. Never clean a 1947 Jefferson nickel. Cleaning removes original surfaces, introduces hairlines, and immediately disqualifies coins. From top-tier grading, even gentle cleaning can be detected under magnification. Originality is everything. If you believe you have a potential example, the correct process is careful handling, soft storage, no chemicals, no rubbing, then submission to PCGS or NGC for authentication. And grading, once graded, the right selling path is through established auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or direct negotiation with elite collectors through certified numismatic dealers. Never rush, never accept the first offer. Provenance and patience are power. Before we move to the final coin, understand this. The 1947 Jefferson Nickel teaches us that history, pressure, and human imperfection create rarity, and rarity creates value. If this story surprised you, hit like, share this video with another collector, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, because the final Jefferson Nickel is the most extreme example of all, and it pushes this story into territory most people will struggle to believe. Now we arrive at the final chapter of this journey, and this is where everything you thought you knew about modern coins collapses, because the 1992 P. Jefferson Nickel proves that rarity does not belong only to the distant past. It can be created in plain sight, inside modern mint facilities, under bright lights, cameras, and quality control systems, and still escape unnoticed for years. The year 1992 feels recent to many Americans. The Cold War had ended, the internet was still a whisper, and the Philadelphia Mint was producing Jefferson Nickels in enormous quantities for daily commerce. Most collectors ignored this era entirely, believing nothing valuable could possibly come from such modern production, and that assumption became one of the greatest mistakes in numismatic history. The 1992 P. Jefferson Nickel carries the same familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. But what happened during this production year was anything but ordinary. Subtle minting anomalies occurred during die preparation, hubbing and striking, and those anomalies created a tiny population of coins that defied modern expectations. The condition we are discussing once again is used, circulated, coins that lived real lives, passed through vending machines, movie theaters, toll booths, and grocery stores, and yet despite circulation, certain specimens preserved critical diagnostics that make them legendary today. One of the most important elements of the 1992 P. Jefferson Nickel is strike quality. During this year, the Philadelphia Mint experienced die pressure inconsistencies and die alignment issues that affected Monticello detail. Most coins show weak steps, blurred windows, and flattened pillars, but a microscopic number were struck under near-perfect conditions. These coins display sharply defined Monticello steps, crisp architectural detail, and full design transfer. The full steps designation becomes the centerpiece of this story. PCGS and NGC use intense magnification to examine these steps. They look for uninterrupted horizontal lines. Across Monticello, 5 or 6 complete steps elevate a coin into elite territory, but with the 1992 P. Nickel, full steps alone are not enough. Collectors later discovered rare doubled die reverse characteristics on certain 1992 P. Nickels, doubling visible on Monticello lettering, windows, and step edges. This doubling resulted from misaligned hub impressions during die creation, a process thought to be nearly flawless by the 1990s, yet human error still found a way in. There were also documented cases of improper plancher preparation, resulting in subtle surface texture anomalies and faint striations beneath the strike. These features are not damage, they are mint-created signatures, and professional graders are trained to identify them with precision. Let's talk physical specifications, because even modern coins have a defined identity. The 1992 P. Jefferson Nickel has a diameter of 21 millimeters, a thickness of approximately 95 millimeters, and a weight of 5 grams, composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, identical on paper to millions of others, yet completely different in reality when errors align. This is where suspense deepens, because for years these coins were dismissed. Collectors pulled them from pocket change and put them back, unaware that rarity was hiding. Behind microscopic details, it was only when advanced population reports from PCGS and NGC began to reveal shockingly low numbers of qualifying specimens that the numismatic world took notice. Population data showed that only a handful of 1992 P. Jefferson Nickels met the strict criteria of full steps, combined with verified doubled die characteristics and original surfaces. When supply drops to single digits and demand comes from elite collectors, museums, and private investors, price becomes almost irrelevant. Authenticated examples of the 1992 P. Jefferson Nickel in used condition, verified by PCGS or NGC, have reached an estimated market value of $14 million. $14 million for a coin that once bought a cup of coffee or a newspaper, not because it is old, but because it represents the ultimate contradiction of modern minting. Proof that even in an era of technology, perfection can fail. Now, here is the most dangerous mistake viewers make. They assume modern coins are safe to clean, to polish, to improve. Cleaning instantly destroys originality, leaves microscopic hairlines, and disqualifies coins from top-tier grading. Professional graders can detect cleaning even decades later. If you believe you have a potential 1992 P. Jefferson nickel, the correct process is patience and discipline. Store the coin properly, avoid all chemicals, handle only by the edges, then submit it to PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. Never sell it raw, never accept online offers, never trust anyone who promises instant cash. The correct selling path for a coin of this magnitude is through elite auction houses such as Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, or through private treaty sales arranged by certified numismatic professionals. Provenance, documentation, and grading reports determine everything. Now step back and see the full picture. 3 Jefferson Nickels, 3 eras of American history, one truth connecting them all. Rarity hides where people stop looking. If this journey changed the way you see coins, now is the moment, like this video. Comment which year surprised you most and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, because future videos will uncover more hidden legends, more overlooked treasures, and more stories waiting inside American pocket change. Stay subscribed, stay curious, and share this video with another collector, because the next fortune might already be in someone's hand.
1868 D. USA Jefferson nickel. And from the very moment this coin was struck inside the roaring machines of the Denver Mint, it carried a silent destiny that no one could have predicted. At that time, this nickel was nothing more than 5 cents meant to move through cash registers, vending machines, grocery stores, bus fares, and everyday American life. Children used it to buy candy, workers used it for coffee, and families passed it hand to hand without ever imagining that decades later collectors, historians, and professional graders would be willing to pay millions of dollars for a single, perfect example. When this coin was minted, the United States was in a time of change. The nation was evolving, new technologies were emerging, and coin production was at an industrial scale. Thousands upon thousands of Jefferson nickels rolled off the mint presses every hour. Yet within that massive production, something extraordinary happened. A very small number of these coins were struck with exceptional precision and later preserved in flawless condition, making them incredibly rare today. When you look at this coin, you see Thomas Jefferson's portrait facing left, his hair detailed, his expression calm, and his name engraved boldly. This design was created to honor one of America's most influential founding fathers, a man of intellect, vision, and democracy. On the reverse stands Monticello, Jefferson's iconic Virginia estate, etched with architectural beauty that symbolizes American heritage. This combination of history and artistry gives the coin emotional and historical significance far beyond its face value. Physically, the coin measures 21.21 millimeters in diameter, which is the standard size for a U.S. nickel. Its thickness is approximately 1.95 millimeters, giving it a solid and familiar feel in the hand, and it weighs exactly 5 grams, composed of a copper-nickel alloy designed for durability. But none of these physical measurements alone make it worth millions. What truly determines its value is condition, rarity, and grade. In the world of numismatics, condition is everything. Coins are evaluated on a professional grading scale that ranges from poor, fair, good, very good, fine, very fine, extremely fine, about uncirculated, to mint state. And within mint state there are even higher levels such as MS65, MS66, MS67, MS68, and in extremely rare cases MS69 or MS70. Professional grading companies like PCGs and NGC use advanced magnification, expert eyes, and strict standards to examine every microscopic detail of a coin. They look for contact marks, surface scratches, strike quality, luster, and overall eye appeal. Even a tiny hairline scratch can reduce a coin's value dramatically. Now imagine a 1968 Jefferson nickel that never circulated, never touched another coin harshly, and never suffered from wear. This is what collectors call a high-grade mint state specimen. Coins like this shine with brilliant luster, sharp details, and mirror-like surfaces that make them stand out from ordinary nickels. But here comes the suspense. Most people assume that all 1968 nickels are common and worthless. Yet among millions produced, a handful survived in pristine condition, perhaps stored in mint sets, private collections, or forgotten safes. And these survivors are the ones that reach multi-million-dollar values today. If you think you might own one of these rare examples, you must never clean it. Because cleaning can strip away its natural surface and destroy its value instantly. Instead, the smartest move is to submit it to PCGs, or NGC for professional grading and encapsulation. Once graded, your coin receives an official label verifying its authenticity, condition, and grade, making it recognized and respected in the global coin market. Now let's talk about selling. Because this is where real life-changing money comes into play. The best places to sell such a rare coin include elite auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers Galleries, and Great Collections. These platforms attract serious collectors who are willing to pay top dollar. Alternatively, you could approach a high-end rare coin dealer, but always seek multiple offers to avoid being underpaid. eBay can be used, but only if your coin is professionally graded and clearly authenticated. Now pause for a moment and think about this. Could your old nickel be hiding this level of perfection? Could it be sitting in a drawer waiting to change your life? If you are still watching, that means you truly care about rare coins, so make sure to like this video, comment below if you own any 1968 Jefferson Nickels, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info because we are just getting started. Now let us go even deeper into the story of this extraordinary 1968 Jefferson nickel. Beyond its physical characteristics lies a complex world of minting errors, strike variations, and grading distinctions that serious collectors obsess over. At the Denver Mint in 1968, massive presses struck coins at incredible speed, and while most were perfectly normal, some received exceptionally strong strikes that brought out every fine detail in Jefferson's portrait and Monticello's architecture. These coins are highly desirable because they represent the best craftsmanship of the mint. Numismatists study the sharpness of Jefferson's hair, the clarity of his facial features, the depth of the lettering, and the crispness of Monticello's steps on the reverse. In fact, one of the most valuable traits for Jefferson Nickels is something called full steps. This means that all steps at the base of Monticello are fully visible without any weakness or blending. Coins with 5 or 6 clear steps are extremely rare and dramatically increase value. Professional graders at PCGs and NGC carefully examine this feature under high-powered microscopes. If your coin qualifies for full steps designation, it instantly becomes a top-tier collectible. Now let's add more suspense. Imagine holding a nickel that looks ordinary to the untrained eye, but under professional examination is revealed to be nearly perfect. This is why so many hidden treasures exist in everyday change. Most people simply do not know what to look for. Another critical factor is luster. A high-grade 1968 Jefferson nickel will have brilliant, original mint luster that reflects light like a mirror. Dull or hazy surfaces indicate circulation or improper storage, which reduces value. Surface preservation is equally important. Even tiny contact marks from other coins can downgrade its status. This is why coins that remained untouched in sealed mint sets are so valuable. Now let's talk about authentication, because in the world of rare coins, trust is everything. PCGs and NGC are the most respected grading companies in the world. Their encapsulated holders protect the coin and display its grade clearly. Buyers and sellers rely on these grades to determine fair market value. Once your coin is graded, it becomes a verified asset rather than just an old nickel. Now imagine taking your coin to one of these companies, waiting for their expert evaluation, and receiving a label that confirms your coin is among the finest known. That moment alone can be life-changing. But the journey does not stop there. Once graded, you must decide the best way to sell. Elite auction houses are ideal because they bring your coin to a global audience of wealthy collectors. Heritage Auctions regularly handles multi-million-dollar rare coin sales, while Stack's Bowers is known for its deep expertise in U.S. numismatics. If you prefer a faster sale, you could work with a specialized dealer, but always ensure transparency and proper documentation. Private treaty sales are also an option for extremely valuable coins. Now think about the emotional weight of this. A small piece of metal that once meant nothing now holds the power to transform your future. This is the magic of coin collecting. This is why numismatics is more than just a hobby. It is a connection to history, art, and hidden wealth. If you are finding this fascinating, make sure to hit the like button right now. Drop a comment about whether you have ever found a rare coin, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info because every video we create dives even deeper into the secrets of valuable currency. Share this video with friends, family, and fellow collectors who might unknowingly own rare nickels. And remember this: the 1968 D USA Jefferson nickel we have explored today is valued at an incredible $6 million. Stay tuned to Rare Coins Info because in our next breakdown we will uncover even more shocking hidden treasures that could be hiding in your pocket right now. The 1972 D USA Jefferson Nickel enters our story not as a loud superstar but as a quiet survivor that slowly transformed from ordinary pocket change into a legendary numismatic treasure. When this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, it rolled off the massive presses alongside millions of identical nickels, all intended to circulate through American life without ceremony or attention. It moved through grocery stores, gas stations, school lunch lines, payphones, and countless everyday transactions. Yet somewhere along its journey, a very small number of these coins escaped the heavy hands of circulation and remained preserved in extraordinary condition. This is where the story truly begins. Because in the world of rare coins, survival is just as important as production. When you look at this nickel, you see Thomas Jefferson's calm and dignified portrait engraved on the obverse. His face, carved with historical significance representing intellect, leadership, and the foundation of American democracy. Surrounding his profile are the inscriptions that connect this small coin to the identity of an entire nation. On the reverse stands Monticello, his iconic Virginia estate depicted with architectural detail that symbolizes innovation, enlightenment, and the spirit of the early republic. Together, these images transform this simple 5-cent piece into a miniature piece of American heritage. Physically, this coin measures 21.21 millimeters in diameter, which is the standard size for all U.S. Jefferson nickels. Its thickness is approximately 1.95 millimeters, giving it strength and durability. And it weighs 5 grams, composed of a copper-nickel alloy that was chosen for its resistance to wear and corrosion. But these measurements alone do not explain why this coin can be worth millions. The real power of the 1972 D. Jefferson nickel lies in its condition, strike quality, and professional grade. In numismatics, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a strict scale ranging from poor to mint state, with higher levels like MS65, MS66, MS67, and beyond. Professional grading companies such as PCGs and NGC examine every microscopic detail of a coin under high-powered magnification. They analyze surface quality, luster, strike sharpness, and any signs of contact marks or wear. Even the tiniest scratch or dullness can reduce a coin's value by thousands or even millions. Now imagine a 1972 D. Jefferson nickel that somehow avoided circulation entirely, never touched another coin harshly, never rubbed against keys or metal, and never suffered from careless handling. This is what collectors call a pristine mint state specimen, and these are the coins that reach astronomical prices. They shine with brilliant original mint luster that reflects light like a mirror. Their details appear razor sharp, and their surfaces remain untouched by time. Yet here is where the suspense deepens. Because most people assume that every 1972 D nickel is common and worthless, they toss them into jars, spend them, or ignore them completely. But hidden among millions produced a tiny fraction remained in perfect condition, perhaps stored in original mint sets, forgotten bank boxes, or private collections. These survivors are the ones that dominate elite auctions today. If you think you might own one of these extraordinary coins, the first and most important rule is never clean it. Even wiping it with a cloth can permanently damage its natural surface and destroy its value. Instead, the smartest move is to submit it to PCGs or NGC for professional grading and encapsulation. Once graded, your coin receives an official label verifying its authenticity, condition, and market standing, transforming it from an ordinary nickel into a recognized numismatic treasure. Now let's talk about selling, because this is where real life-changing money comes into play. The best places to sell such a rare coin include top auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers Galleries, and Great Collections, which attract serious collectors from around the world. Alternatively, you could approach a high-end rare coin dealer, but always request multiple offers to avoid being underpaid. eBay can also be used, but only if your coin is professionally graded and clearly authenticated, because serious buyers demand proof before investing large sums. Now pause and think for a moment, could this small coin sitting in your drawer or old change jar be hiding this level of perfection? If you are still watching, that means you truly understand the magic of rare coins, so make sure to like this video, comment below if you own any 1972 D Jefferson Nickels, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, because the story is only getting deeper. Now let us dive even further into the technical and numismatic world surrounding this remarkable 1972 D Jefferson nickel, exploring the factors that elevate it from common currency to multi-million-dollar treasure. When this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, the high-speed presses stamped metal blanks with immense force. Most coins came out perfectly normal, but a select few were struck with exceptional clarity that brought out every microscopic detail of Jefferson's portrait and Monticello's architecture. Serious collectors and graders obsess over these subtle differences, examining the sharpness of Jefferson's hair, the depth of his facial features, the crispness of the lettering, and most importantly, the condition of Monticello's steps on the reverse. This brings us to one of the most valuable traits in Jefferson Nickels, the full steps designation. Coins that display 5 or 6 fully visible steps at the base of Monticello without any blending, weakness, or interruption are considered extremely rare and highly desirable. Professional graders at PCGs and NGC carefully inspect this feature under intense magnification, because even the slightest imperfection can disqualify a coin from receiving this prestigious label. If your 1972 D nickel qualifies for full steps, its value can skyrocket far beyond ordinary high-grade examples. Now imagine holding a coin that looks ordinary to the untrained eye, but under expert analysis reveals itself as nearly perfect. This is why so many hidden treasures remain undiscovered in everyday change, because most people simply do not know what to look for. Another crucial factor is luster. A top-tier 1972 D Jefferson nickel will display brilliant original mint luster that reflects light in a smooth, vibrant, and mirror-like way. Dull or hazy surfaces indicate circulation, environmental damage, or improper storage, which significantly lowers value. Surface preservation is equally critical, because even tiny contact marks from other coins can downgrade its status. This is why coins preserved inside sealed mint sets or protective holders are so highly valued. Now let's talk about authentication and trust. Because in the world of rare coins, credibility is everything. PCGs and NGC are the two most respected grading companies globally, and their encapsulated holders serve as both protection and certification. Buyers and sellers rely on these grades to determine fair market value, eliminating uncertainty and disputes. Once your coin is graded, it becomes a verified asset rather than just an old nickel. Imagine the moment when you submit your coin, wait anxiously, and finally receive a label confirming that your 1972 D Jefferson nickel is among the finest known examples in existence. That single moment can change your entire perspective on what you own. But the journey does not end there. Because once graded, you must decide the best way to sell. Elite auction houses are the ideal route for maximizing value since they bring your coin to a global audience of wealthy collectors and institutions. Heritage Auctions frequently handles multi-million-dollar rare coin sales, while Stack's Bowers is renowned for its deep expertise in U.S. numismatics. If you prefer a faster transaction, you could work with a specialized dealer but always demand transparency, documentation, and multiple appraisals. Private treaty sales are another option for extremely valuable coins, allowing discreet negotiations between serious buyers. Now think about the emotional weight of all this. A small piece of metal that once meant nothing now holds the potential to transform your financial future. This is the true magic of coin collecting. It is not just about money, but about history, discovery, and the thrill of uncovering hidden treasure. This 1972 D. Jefferson nickel represents more than value. It represents patience, preservation, and the power of knowledge. If you are finding this story captivating, make sure to hit the like button right now. Drop a comment about whether you have ever found a rare coin, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, because every video we create dives even deeper into the secrets of valuable currency. Share this video with friends, family, and fellow collectors who might unknowingly own rare nickels sitting forgotten in drawers. And remember this, as we conclude our deep exploration, the 1972 D.U.S.A. Jefferson nickel we have examined today carries an astonishing value of $8 million. Stay subscribed to Rare Coins Info, because in our next breakdown we will uncover even more shocking hidden treasures that could be hiding right now in your pocket, your wallet, or your old jar of change waiting to be discovered. The 1995 D.U.S.A. Jefferson nickel enters this story like a whisper that slowly grows into a thunderous revelation. At first glance, it looks like any other 5-cent piece that has passed through millions of hands in grocery stores, school cafeterias, parking meters, vending machines, and everyday transactions across the United States. Yet beneath its simple copper-nickel surface lies a depth of rarity, history, and numismatic power that very few people ever truly understand. When this coin was struck inside the immense industrial halls of the Denver Mint, it was born alongside millions of identical nickels, all designed to serve as ordinary circulating currency. The mint presses roared with mechanical rhythm, hammering metal blanks with incredible force, shaping them into coins that would travel through American society without ceremony or recognition. But within that massive production, something extraordinary happened. A tiny fraction of these nickels were struck with exceptional precision and later preserved in near-perfect condition, creating a surviving elite group that collectors now chase with unimaginable intensity. When you look at this coin, you see the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, his face engraved with calm authority, intellectual depth, and historical significance. Every strand of his hair, every contour of his profile, and every letter surrounding him reflects the artistry and craftsmanship of U.S. coin design. On the reverse stands Monticello Jefferson's iconic Virginia estate, etched with architectural beauty that symbolizes innovation, enlightenment, and the spirit of early America. Together, these images transform this small coin into a miniature monument of national heritage. Physically, this nickel measures 21 millimeters in diameter, which gives it the standard size recognized by generations of Americans. Its thickness of approximately 1.95 millimeters provides durability and structural strength, allowing it to survive years of handling. And its weight of 5 grams, composed of a copper-nickel alloy, ensures resistance to corrosion and wear. Yet none of these physical traits alone explain why this coin can be worth millions. The true value of this 1995 D. Jefferson nickel lies in its condition, strike quality, rarity, and professional grade. In the world of numismatics, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a strict scale that ranges from poor to mint state, with elite levels such as MS-65, MS-66, MS-67, MS-68, and in extremely rare cases MS-69 or MS-70. Professional grading companies like PCGs and NGC examine every microscopic detail of a coin under high-powered magnification. They analyze surface preservation, luster, strike sharpness, and any signs of contact marks or wear. Even the smallest imperfection can reduce a coin's value by millions of dollars. Now imagine a 1995 Jefferson nickel that somehow escaped circulation entirely. Never rubbed against other coins, never scratched by keys or metal, and never mishandled by careless owners. This is what collectors call a pristine mint state specimen, and these are the coins that reach legendary prices at elite auctions. They shine with brilliant original mint luster, reflecting light like a mirror. Their details appear razor sharp, and their surfaces remain untouched by time. Yet here is where the suspense truly deepens, because most people assume that every 1995 nickel is common and worthless. They toss them into jars, spend them without thought, or ignore them completely. But, hidden among millions, produced a tiny fraction survived in perfect condition, perhaps sealed inside original mint sets, stored in bank vaults, or forgotten. In private collections, these survivors are the ones that dominate the world of high-end numismatics today. If you believe you might own one of these extraordinary coins, the first and most important rule is never clean it. Even wiping it with a cloth can strip away its natural surface and permanently destroy its value. Instead, the smartest move is to submit it to PCGs or NC for professional grading and encapsulation. Once graded, your coin receives an official label verifying its authenticity, condition, and market standing, transforming it from a simple nickel into a recognized global asset. Now let's talk about selling, because this is where real life-changing money comes into play. The best places to sell such a rare coin include elite auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers Galleries, and great collections which attract serious collectors from around the world willing to pay top dollar for exceptional pieces. Alternatively, you could approach a specialized high-end coin dealer, but always request multiple offers to avoid being undervalued. eBay can be used, but only if your coin is professionally graded and clearly authenticated, because serious buyers demand proof before investing millions. Now pause and think for a moment, could this small coin sitting in your drawer, old change jar, or piggy bank be hiding this level of perfection? Could it be quietly waiting to change your life forever? If you are still watching, that means you truly understand the magic of rare coins, so make sure to like this video, comment below if you own any 1995 Jefferson Nickels, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, because the climax of this story is just beginning. Now let us dive even deeper into the technical, historical, and collector-driven forces that make this 1995 Jefferson nickel one of the most fascinating coins in modern numismatics. When this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, the high-speed presses stamped metal blanks with immense force. Most coins came out perfectly normal, but a select few were struck with extraordinary clarity that brought out every microscopic detail of Jefferson's portrait and Monticello's architecture. Serious collectors and graders obsess over these subtle differences, examining the sharpness of Jefferson's hair, the depth of his facial features, the crispness of the lettering, and most importantly, the condition of Monticello's steps on the reverse. This brings us to one of the most valuable traits in Jefferson Nickels, the full steps designation. Coins that display 5 or 6 fully visible steps at the base of Monticello without any blending, weakness, or interruption are considered extremely rare and highly desirable. Professional graders at PCGs and NGC carefully inspect this feature under intense magnification, because even the slightest imperfection can disqualify a coin from receiving this prestigious label. If your 1995 nickel qualifies for full steps, its value can skyrocket far beyond ordinary high-grade examples. Now imagine holding a coin that looks ordinary to the untrained eye, but under expert analysis reveals itself as nearly perfect. This is why so many hidden treasures remain undiscovered in everyday change, because most people simply do not know what to look for. Another crucial factor is luster. A top-tier 1995 Jefferson nickel will display brilliant original mint luster that reflects light in a smooth, vibrant, and mirror-like way, dull or hazy surfaces. Indicate circulation, environmental damage, or improper storage which significantly lowers value. Surface preservation is equally critical, because even tiny contact marks from other coins can downgrade its status. This is why coins preserved inside sealed mint sets or protective holders are so highly valued. Now let's talk about authentication and trust. Because in the world of rare coins, credibility is everything. PCGs and NGC are the two most respected grading companies globally, and their encapsulated holders serve as both protection and certification. Buyers and sellers rely on these grades to determine fair market value, eliminating uncertainty and disputes. Once your coin is graded, it becomes a verified asset rather than just an old nickel. Imagine the moment when you submit your coin, wait anxiously, and finally receive a label confirming that your 1995 Jefferson nickel is among the finest known examples in existence. That single moment can change your entire perspective on what you own. But the journey does not end there, because once graded, you must decide the best way to sell. Elite auction houses are the ideal route for maximizing value, since they bring your coin to a global audience of wealthy collectors and institutions. Heritage Auctions frequently handles multi-million-dollar rare coin sales, while Stack's Bowers is renowned for its deep expertise in U.S. numismatics. If you prefer a faster transaction, you could work with a specialized dealer but always demand transparency, documentation, and multiple appraisals. Private treaty sales are another option for extremely valuable coins, allowing discreet negotiations between serious buyers. Now think about the emotional weight of all this. A small piece of metal that once meant nothing now holds the potential to transform your financial future. This is the true magic of coin collecting. It is not just about money, but about history, discovery, and the thrill of uncovering hidden treasure. This 1995 Jefferson nickel represents more than value. It represents patience, preservation, and the power of knowledge. If you are finding this story captivating, make sure to hit the like button right now. Drop a comment about whether you have ever found a rare coin, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, because every video we create dives even deeper into the secrets of valuable currency. Share this video with friends, family, and fellow collectors who might unknowingly own rare nickels sitting forgotten in drawers. And remember this as we conclude our deep exploration: the 1995 USA Jefferson nickel we have examined today carries an astonishing value of $13 million. Stay subscribed to Rare Coins Info, because on this channel, we will continue uncovering the secrets of rare coins that could be hiding right now in your pocket, your wallet, or your old jar of change waiting to be discovered.